What's up everybody, my name is Mofokeng, better known as Tiggie, and this is My Flow Tactics. Today we are at Unique Beans, a trendy coffee shop in Edenvale, to talk to George. George is going to give us a little bit of an insight into the professional dance world and tell us a little bit about himself. What's up everybody, so I'm sitting here with George today to tell us a little bit about what he does in the dance world. So George, tell us a little bit about yourself.
What's up guys, so my name is George Grigoroglu. I am 26 years old, born and raised in Germiston, and I'm a professional freelance dancer.
So being in the professional world, obviously you had to start somewhere with your dancing. At what age did you start dancing?
So I was exposed to dance at, I'd say around the age of 15, 16 years old. I started Bboying at around that age, and I took it very seriously and was quite disciplined and dedicated to it, like for the first 2-3 years. Then I got a bit sidetracked with other things in life, so I was very on and off with my dancing at a stage. And then once I left high school, I think at the age of around 19 years old, I really started to take it serious again and got back into my training. And I'd say at the age of 19 is where I really started like pushing my dancing. That being said, that was also the time I decided to pursue my career as a professional dancer and try and make it happen for myself, and that's when I decided to take that step.
So with you being a professional b-boy, what made you choose b-boying over all the other styles of dancing?
Well, I had always been intrigued by the style, like seeing video clips, and whenever I saw it, I was very intrigued by it, and it just looked really awesome. And what I love so much about the style is that it's a very free style, and you can really have a lot of freedom within the style and be yourself. It's not set to one thing and everything has to be like this. Like breaking does have its foundation moves, and it has a history of where it started and some foundation moves, like I said. But once you know that, you can really make the style of dance your own and put your own flavor into it and express yourself how you want to. So I guess that's what I really loved about the style, is the freedom to express yourself however you want.
And obviously having to kind of mold your breaking to who you are, you have to train a certain amount of times a week, I suppose. So how often do you train?
Well, look, it's not an easy style, and that being said, that's actually one of the things I really dig about the style as well. It's challenging, and when I say it's challenging, not only physically, mentally as well. If there's one thing I can say, breaking's also taught me how to be very disciplined and dedicated, because it's a very challenging style, and if you want to progress in it, you need to be disciplined and train a lot. And to answer your question, so I'd say before I got very busy with work, now it's very difficult to train as much as I used to, but I train as much as possible. I train every day if I can, also dependent on how my body felt. Obviously you need to give your body a break to recover, but I train as much as possible.
Okay, so who has been the most influential person in your dancing career?
Okay, wow, that's a difficult question to answer, but there are a handful of people that were very influential in my career. I can't just name one. Making the decision to pursue dance as a career and really try and make it happen was a difficult move to make for me. Just the reason being is that I feel like I got into the dance scene very late in my life, and also at the age I decided to do that, it was quite late for me as well. So I was taking a risk at 19 years old, and I obviously didn't have a lot of support from my family and friends. Reason being is I just don't think they understood why I did what I did and why I wanted to do it. I guess they never saw the opportunity in it. So that being said, to answer your question, people that really influenced me a lot, I can say one of my friends by the name of Emmanuel Torelana. goes by the name of E-Man. He really took me under his wing and, exposed me to the industry and started showing me the ropes of everything. And he was very influential to me and helped me out a lot, and pushed me to keep pursuing what I wanted. And there are people in the industry like your B-boys that were holding it down in the professional world. Just to name one of them, goes by the name of Twitch. So he was doing really well as a B-boy in the professional world, and obviously I looked up to people like that because he was showing me that it is possible to do, So those are some of the people that were really influential within my short career so far.
Awesome. And how did you transition from being an amateur dancer to being a professional dancer?
Sure. Well, I can't tell you exactly when that transition happened, but I always knew that was my vision and that was my end goal, to do that. But I guess I knew, like I said earlier, I got into this very late in my life, I feel like, compared to, other dancers in the scene or, I knew I had to work harder than I ever would, if I was going to have to make this happen for myself. So I just trained really hard, always working on myself, kept going to auditions. Doesn't matter what the outcome was, whether it was negative feedback, whether it was positive, whether they called me back or not. I just kept going, and eventually, people get to know you in the industry, started getting booked for jobs, and just kept pushing, and eventually I got to where I am now. So I guess it was just, keep pushing.
So what would you say are the best and worst parts about dancing professionally?
Okay, well, I'd like to say, my experience doing this as a profession is that I feel like it has its extreme highs and its extreme lows, there's nothing really in the middle, there's obviously so much positive about what I do, and naming some of those things would be is that I get to wake up every day and do what I love. Yeah. And who doesn't want to enjoy what they do,
Very true.
So that's one of the great things about what I do and what I love. It doesn't feel like I'm working, every day I wake up and I'm excited to go to work and do what I do. And speaking about, well, what was the question again?
The best and the worst
things. The worst things, okay, I can name some negative things, some tough, I wouldn't call it negative, some tough things about our line of work in this industry could be as a freelance dancer, you're not always promised work.
Yeah.
So at this point in my career, I'm very blessed and grateful to have work and a constant flow of work, and like I said, I'm very blessed and grateful to say that. But there was a stage in my career where it was really tough, in terms of getting work. You don't know where you're going to get your next paycheck from, you don't know who's going to hire you for the next gig. So another difficult thing about our line of work can also be injuries, and I'll get to a stage in my career that I went through with a really bad injury I experienced, and that being said, if you're injured, you can't work, you can't do what you love, so that can be a very difficult thing to experience within our line of work. And that being said, actually in 2017 I experienced a really bad injury where I threw out my right shoulder, and I actually tore off my labrum completely, and I had to go for reconstructive surgery, and that put me out for a good couple of months, and it was tough, man, because I felt like that's where things really just started happening for me, and I was getting booked for some good work, some big shows, and things just really started happening for me, and then that happened, and I was out for a couple of months. I had to go for reconstructive surgery in 2018, the 7th of January, and that put me out for a couple of months. I was in a sling for a good 3 months, and I just had to, work on it and start from the beginning, and I was just training again and training, and halfway through 2019 I got the opportunity to start doing some shows again, and it was tough because, you know, going from what you knew you were, like I wasn't always happy with my performance, although I was getting back into it and I was getting the opportunity to be on stage again. It was tough because I knew what I was and I wasn't happy with my performance. But that being said, I just kept pushing through it, kept working hard, kept training hard, and then 2019 really popped off for me and things started happening, and I'd say like I really managed to make my comeback from that injury. So that can be one of the worst things about our career, and it taught me a lot as well, you know, like to look after your body and take yourself seriously, you know, like if you want to do this as a profession, you really have to condition your body and look after yourself and treat yourself like a professional. If you want to be a professional and do it professionally, you got to treat yourself that way as well, and you know, always look after your health.
So with the professional dance world being so difficult to get into, what tips or small bit of advice would you give people who are trying to get into the professional dance world?
I'd say just learn as much as you can from everyone and anyone that crosses your path in your journey. You know, just expose yourself to like as many dance styles as you can, even if it feels awkward. You know, like I said earlier, I think it's good to throw yourself out of your comfort zone, because that's where I feel growth happens. And you know, like there's this thing in my head that I always like to live by. You know, if you are working towards something, that opportunity will present itself eventually, and just make sure you are ready when it does. So just keep learning as much as you can, learn from everyone, take a bit of advice and as much as you can from anyone that crosses your path, you know, and just expose yourself to different dance styles and people and personalities within your industry, and put yourself in a position where you're around people that you aspire to be like, and you know,
so putting yourself in a positive light is actually the best thing in this industry.
That's what
So what do you have going on at the moment, and how can people find you and find out what you're doing?
At this specific point in time, I don't have I got a lot going on, but nothing specific I could say to watch out for. I mean, like a lot of the work and events I do are very corporate and private, so it's that can also actually be a difficult thing, not always getting to invite your people to come see what you do. But if you want to just look out for what I'm doing, I am doing a lot throughout the year. Just follow me on Instagram at George Dance Fit, and I'll always be posting about what's coming up, workshops, whether they're with me or other dancers, or auditions if you're looking to get in the industry as well. So just follow me at George Dance Fit on Instagram, and you can see what's coming up.
So thank you so much for joining us today, George. It was so great to have you chat to us on My Flow Tactics.
Cool, thanks for having me, guys, and a quick shout out to My Flow Tactics, Rob and his team. I really love what you guys are doing, and thanks for having me on the show. Peace.
Thank you guys for joining us as we gain some insights into the professional dance world, and thank you to our venue Unique Beans for letting us use their space. If you'd like to be featured on the show, or if you'd like to see someone on My Flow Tactics, all the information you need is on our Instagram. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell so you can get notifications on when we're up again.
After I get it, I reinvest. After I get it, I reinvest. Stack and put it back in it. Spending money in some really funny ways, man. I promise you ain't really getting paid. Show a couple bands flexing on the Instagram, and nobody getting fans that way. Well, you really dumb if you spending all your funds on some clothes and your tape need work. You ain't gonna stand if you ain't a businessman, man. I promise you the plan ain't gonna work. Rappers spending money in some really funny ways.